Welcome back everyone, this is Rajneesh and this lecture is about Bitcoin. I know this sounds really interesting, but we'll be focused on dark web. But why really Bitcoin here? It's because people, or in fact anybody who access the dark web, the purpose is to have a private communication, to achieve a kind of anonymity while they talk to each other, while they share information, or while they do any kind of transactions. All right. So, but if they are selling something on the dark web and still make use of the normal currency, which is traceable, wherein we have credit card and other cards, debit card as well, which can be traced, of course. So this become difficult for them, right? So that's why Bitcoin really solves that problem. How? It's because Bitcoin is actually a kind of untraceable currency. I'll talk about it in later slides, in the next slides in fact, but this basically solves their needs, and that's why we are talking about it. All right, so let's get started. So what exactly is Bitcoin? So Bitcoin is basically a digital currency which is not controlled by anybody, right? Anybody. So if you talk about the normal currency, which is tangible currency, which you can feel it, touch it, you can share it, give it to anybody else as well. When it comes to the physical currency, when it comes to the fiat currency in the world, this is printed by the central banks, which is completely under control by the government, right? So the amount of money that can be printed and to be flooded to the country, to all the citizens, it's all completely in control, and it can be traced as well. So even your credit card, all the information, your bank transfer, it's all traceable, right? So when it comes to the Bitcoin, it is non-tangible. You can't really feel it. It's all digital currency. It's a cryptography, currency in fact. The only thing is, it is not controlled by anybody because it is limited, because there are only limited amount of currency which can be generated. That's why it has a value. All right. And of course, this has a lot of other stuff as well, because the way currency is adoptable, the currency has got a value, because when I have a sort of currency and I give it to you, if you can buy something with it, you have a trust on it, right? Similar to that, if people start accepting the Bitcoin and they believe that I can definitely go and buy something else, that creates a trust. So the more trust you have on a currency, the more value you get for this, right? Just like gold, right? So that's why the value of Bitcoin is also increasing day by day, year by year, because the people who are trusting on this Bitcoin are increasing, and that's why the value is also increasing. So that's all about Bitcoin in a nutshell, and we'll be talking about why Bitcoin is basically being used in dark web. Is because Bitcoin is untraceable. Nobody is controlling it. That's why nobody can trace it. That's why it is being highly used in dark web for all the transactions. So let's understand some of the core components of it. First thing is, it is decentralized. So it means that there's no central authority who controls the printing or generation of this digital currency. So everybody creates it and everybody maintain it. So it is not stored on any single place. So people who are generating the Bitcoins, they are the one who's storing it as well. Okay. So even if one member generated it, all the members have to store it. So that's why it is decentralized. Is it secure? It is secure as of now, to be very specific, because it makes use of a lot of non-repudiation and other function as well, where once the transaction has been generated, nobody can go in the past and change any transaction. If anybody have tried changing any of the attempt, all the ledger become invalid. Okay, so that's what makes it more secure in every sense, and it makes use of other security parameter as well, from digital signature to the cryptography hash as well, and this all hash are interlinked with each other with the previous hash value. That's why it is meant to be more secure as of now. All right, that's why the trust is increasing every day as well. And of course, it makes this currency anonymous. It's not that the currency become anonymous, but the people who do the transaction still remain anonymous, because you never know who bought it. You just only can able to identify with their private key, public key. That's the only identification. In fact, the person who have published the Bitcoin white paper, in fact, Satoshi Nakamoto, in fact, his no one even know about it other than his fancy name, but in fact nobody even have any idea about who made this currency, and how many currency it still hold and all those stuff. It's because the people who have this currency can do all the transaction while being anonymous. All right, so this is all about Bitcoin. We'll catch you in the next lecture. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. This is Rajneesh, and this lecture is about Bitcoin.